Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live stream. It's been some time since we did our last live stream, but good to be back here today with our live stream on a agent security, permit a new platform for agentic identity and securing these agents. I hope you all can see well my screen here. Seems like it doesn't share what it needs to share, so I'll download it as PDF and show it in the preview. Oh, it might show something. Anyway, I'm happy to be here today. A little of admissions, and then we can start. You probably know me. My name is Gabriel. I'm leading the developer relations at Permit and platform of Agent.Security. I'm happy to be here today, talk about how we are enabling security teams and developers to create better identities for AI agents. With me today, Raz, our VP product at Permit and Agent.Security. Raz, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me right?
We can hear you, yes.
Cool. I'm Raz Cohen, currently at Permit for the last 3.5 years, and I'm currently leading the product at Agent.Security.
Great. So Raz indeed is leading all the effort with Agent.Security, and thanks for joining me here today, Raz. The agenda for today, I'll start with a short slideshow short deck to talk about what are the challenges with Agent.Security and how we can do it better so security and CISOs and everyone can actually secure AI identity and enable fast adoption of AI agents. And then Raz will do a live demo with the new platform on top of that. In the deck, I'll try to answer all the questions like what is the difference between Agent.Security and Permit, what you need to do, how Agent.Security and Permit is incorporate together in case you want to create your own solution. And with that, I will share my screen and start with the presentation. If you have any questions, no matter where you're watching us, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on anywhere that you are watching us, you can ask questions and we will answer that. We see the questions and we'll answer everything. And with that, I will share my screen and start the presentation. I hope you can all see my screen. Let's open the window. I never shared a Canva decks in this. It's really weird because I can't find the preview. Wait a second. Oh, this is always not the best option to have. I'll share the whole screen and I hope that will work better. If Raz, can you see the deck now on the screen?
Yeah, I do.
Great. So let's talk about permissions for the AI era. Let's start with the way that identities changes. Identity, as we know that, is really changed with the agent identity from multiple perspectives. We'll mention some of them today, but the idea is that we need to adopt and make sure that the way we are securing identity in the AI era is not like the way we did it with human identity. We like to bring the AI, the ship of Theseus. For that, the ship of Theseus is a ship that is stand and every single piece of this ship is being replaced by another piece. And after we replaced all the single pieces of this ship, is that still stayed the same? AI identity is still called identity, but every single piece of the way to secure that is changed, and we need to adopt to this new paradigm. And I think this ship of Theseus is really make us in a need to not just adopt some zero trust the way we did it for humans, for AI, MFA, permissions, the way we did it for person is changing. Every single piece is changing. And this is why we decided to build the Agent.Security on top of Permit.io. We offer also AI permissions in any kind of platform, but the reason again we decided to build it in a dedicated platform is because we actually wanted to make sure that every single piece that is changed is actually secured by our new platform. Some agentic vulnerabilities is a really partial list of everything, but I think prompt injections, we all aware of that. We all saw the clickbaits on LinkedIn in the last couple of days. People are using the MCP of Google Calendar in ChatGPT to send people calendar invitations. And in the invitation, there is prompt injection that actually tell ChatGPT to do something. For example, expose the whole calendar. Confused deputy, which is, I think, proof the ship of Thesis because the way we think of people with zero trust, at the end, we have one identity, the source of truth. With confused deputy, we can trick AI agent to perform operations that they shouldn't be performed. Everything related to leakage, to secret leakage, data leakage is really with AI, no matter if you're using your own model or using some closed source, open source LLM, you always expose yourself to somehow getting some data leakages. And the agency that AI takes, I think we have nothing to add about it, but agents can do everything. And really, people just want to do things faster, to achieve something, to achieve a result. So they immediately goes for that and try to do something. And what we want to do is try to make the AI identity to work right. So start with consent. We need consistent consent of human users for what the AI agent do from the delegator, and then always understand the intent of the agent. And with these three factors, we can securing our AI identity in a way that is secure AI native identity and not just trying to enforce human standards on AI. It's interesting because a year ago we released our four perimeters framework that is more in the in-depth of the technical details of securing AI identity, and it's fun to see that the world is evolving and the four perimeters is was never more relevant than today. And here you can see how we productize it into a real platform. The three anchors that we need to think of identity is agentic identities that persist through time. Human identities are persist today with principles like zero trust, and we need to make sure that we are persisting it with, for one human identity, there are 82 AI identities in average nowadays. So we need to make sure that all the 82 is persist zero trust identity. And that achieve if we replace the trust with permission, with zero standing permissions. So we need to make sure that every single permission query is policy driven and make sure that is fine grained enough to allow not even the single task level, but might be multiple decision per one prompt. So really need to be fine grained. And with these three anchors in mind, we'll build Agent.Security. A short intro to the architecture of Agent.Security. So the Agent.Security is a platform that you're referring your AI agents and prompts to. So it's actually might be zero installation platform. You can just point your AI agents and MCPs to the Agent.Security and we'll do everything. And as you can see, we have the control plane similar to Permit, that you can have all the advanced feature like access control, oath, integration with identity management providers, human in the loop to ensure the zero standing permission also evolving with humans, centralized auditing, monitoring and alerts for everything needed, and DLP and posture connecting with SIEM and SOC management systems to ensure all your security events is logging. So we can, like every CISO that really wants a seamless installation or seamless integration of Agent.Security into their IT, they don't need anything but putting the MCP gateway. And of course, everything is based on Permit.io. So you can use your own Permit.io policies and extend it with Agent.Security, but it's not a must to use Permit.io to use Agent.Security. And we support multiple protocols, multiple ways to connect into agents and MCPs with A2A, MCP, agency. So mostly seamless integration and installation of the agent security platform, and you get secure AI identity. The gateway capabilities are quite diverse, but here are the four principles. So first, everything related to AI identity. We can create delegators, we can create originators. Raz will dive into it more later. And then we have everything with human auth. So you can connect your SSO and OAuth and SAML providers into the agent security, and the agent will get authentication in the same way that your identity provider uses. So everything related to integrate authentication into your AI identities is built in with agent security. It's quite different than one we have with Permit that we never touched authentication. But here, since we believe the most vector to protect AI identities is actually authorization and permissions, we are giving built-in extension for authentication. So you can authenticate your AI engine. I think one of the most important thing here that I like to see is the consent as a service. We all know the consent screen of OAuth, the ones that you are consenting for, I don't know, list users, read messages, etc. Consent screen is something that we'll see more and more because agents will ask and probably preferably ask on the fine-grained permissions that they need. And as soon as they are actually asking that, then humans will need to have more and more consent screen in their services. And this is why we have this consent as a service inside the agent security. It allows you to build and customize consent screens so agents can be just-in-time derived permission from the originators and delegators. And zero setup. We're trying to make it not complex. You already have your own agents. You may have some agent security tools. You just use our MCP server gateway to enforce all the policies on the AI agents. And again, it supports all the protocols that I mentioned before. Let's talk about how Permit.io and agent security is connected together. And I think it's a very interesting point. And many of you that are listening to the live stream are actually concerning about that. We got a lot of questions about it. And the way that we see it, so we start from the in-depth level, the database and the RAG and everything that we have actually data in it can be the LLMs themselves. Then we have protection with Permit.io. We also have our SDK and code for LangChain, for Langflow. So if you're a building agent, then you can connect your SDK and protect your agents. We have our API layer that is more granular for your action. And then we have the agent security AM and CISO offering that is just plug and play one built for enterprise grade security. So you can seamlessly connect the Permit.io SDKs and APIs and platform into your agent security CISO. That way we are strengthening the connections between AI developers and security folks. We know this has a friction that delayed people from delayed people from adopt AI tools. We are aiming here for both AI native companies that need the developers to develop secure agents, and of course for a large enterprise that is actually want to adopt AI, but they are afraid because of the security challenges that they have here. We already have customers of both of the size. So we have a large bank that is using the agent security offering as the security want to adopt it, and then they started to use some Rigo and OPA policy that managed by Permit for the more in-depth integration, and we have AI natives companies that making it more. With that, I want to thank you for joining me to this slide. And if you have any question, I remind you that you can ask it if you watch us on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube. We are looking at the questions, we are looking at the comments, and would love to hear from you. With that, I will transfer it to Raz that will walk us through a demo of agent security.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel. Let me share my screen for a second. Give me a second. Okay. Hmm. I need to connect with my Chrome because I am from Comet. So 1 second.
Oh, I see that Raz disappears. Sometimes the Restream platform has some trouble with. We hear an echo from you, Raz.
Yeah, now it's fine, right?
Yeah,
Back to Chrome. Okay, so let me share my screen right now. Let's hope it works. And you can see it, right?
we can see it. Yes.
Amazing. So I like to first open the demo by showing something pretty familiar. So in this case, I'm showing Cursor, as most of you are familiar with. So Cursor is just an IDE that has basically an AI agent in the right side of it. And I want to connect this AI agent to an MCP. And in this case, I'm trying to use the Linear MCP. Linear is just basically a project management tool. It's a good product, kind of an alternative to other project management tools that you are familiar with. And to actually use the MCP of Linear, they are exposing a remote MCP. So a remote MCP is basically an MCP that is available publicly online. And in this case, they are providing this MCP. So you can see here this URL, HTTPS MCP Linear. It's the MCP of Linear. And what I want to do is basically have our gateway. So we have Agent.Security gateway to basically guard and add access control on top of linear MCP. So to do this, what I'm going to do is basically set our gateway. This is just a deployment of the gateway. And we are adding the MCP of linear with this remote MCP query parameter. And once I do this, I will get basically the value of it is getting the same linear capabilities and tools, the same linear MCP, just with agent security capabilities and access control and audit and all of this stuff that I will show in a second. So once I configure this URL, what I need to do is just enable it. And when I enable the linear MCP now, what I'm going to see is basically an authentication screen. So first of all, I need to authenticate with my identity. As Gabriel showed a few minutes ago, how agent security is collecting the identity is basically the identity of the user. So this is right now I'm signed in as Raz at Permit.io, and now I will have the ability to say whether I want my agent to connect to linear. So in this consent screen, as Gabriel talked about the um, consent as a service. So in this consent screen now, I need to basically allow the agent uh, to interact with linear and basically create and generate the tokens to interact with linear. So in this case, I'm going to allow access, and now I'm getting proxied to the linear OAuth screen. In this case, I will approve. The OAuth flow will complete. And yeah, I got a timeout. That's okay. I just need to restart it because the timeout is pretty short. Just run it pretty fast, allowing and approving. Great. And you can see that the authorization was successfully finished. And now I have my linear MCP connected, and I have the tools also available to see. And in this case, I want to use one of the tools. And one of the easiest tools to use is to list the linear users that I have. So this is a demo linear project that I have. I'm going to list all. I'm going to zoom in. List all linear users, and I'm going to ask the agent to do this. You can see that the first thing is he's doing is basically calling the list users tool. You can see I have some users listing here, which is great. So everything is working, right? The next thing that I want to show is the platform itself. So right now the gateway was connected. Now I have my platform to actually see the security posture and the ecosystem of AI in our organization. In this case, we can see some metrics on top. We can see the overview ecosystem, the originators that we have that interacting with AI agents, the gateways that we have in the organization, the MCPs that are interacted by the agents, and eventually the upstream services here. Um, the last thing that I have here is the shadow agents. So a lot of the ecosystem is talking about shadow AI and shadow agents. And in this case, I can see the agent that I just deployed, the RAS MacBook. This is my MacBook. And the source was the cursor agent. And what I have here right now is to see some other things. So I have the audit logs, for example, and I can see that one of the tools that I used was the list users. So everything is audited, not only the tools that I'm using, but also what the agent is doing and also what the user is allowing the agent to do. So you can see here that my agent was listing all of the server prompts, listing all of the server tools, and so on. The second thing that I want to show is the access control benefit that we have here. So right now I was connected to the linear MCP. You can see also here in the topology diagram what is interacting with the MCP and what the MCP is interacting with. So in this case, you can see some agents, specifically my MacBook agent, that it has quite a high risk because this is a shadow agent. It's basically an agent that um, like no one in the organization was familiar with. It's a new agent and I need to investigate it. And once I investigate it and approve it, the risk will go down significantly. um, and the second thing here is that I can basically control on the access to this MCP. And you, what I was showing is that every user, or at least my user, was able to list users, for example, to list users in the linear. And in this scenario, in this demo, I'm my user, the Raz at Permit.io, is an admin. And what I'm going to do is basically make sure that the admin will not be able to list users. So once I save this one, I'm gonna go back to the cursor, and what I'm gonna do is again try again to list all linear users. And right now I'm getting a different answer. So right now I'm getting an unauthorized error when trying to list the linear users. And this is because I basically denied the access of my user, of my agent, to interact with list users too. Um, so this is one of the main things that I wanted to show in this demo. The other things is that we can also control on the organizational access control. So not only on role-based access control, like I showed um, a moment ago, I can also show some access control on the organization perspective. So in this case, you can see I can say basically all the users from the IDP of Okta will not be able to interact with any agent. The second example that I have here is basic. Oh, sorry. The second example that I have here is that in this case, Okta users, will be able to interact with agents, but not with the specific tool of database MCP that called create table. So I want the Okta users to be able to interact with agents, and the agents will be able to query the DB, update the DB, but not creating the table in the DB. This is another thing. And again, we can see in the audit logs that one of my list users that I just did a few moments ago got denied. So right here, again, I can see a bit more details about the audit itself. I can see the request, I can see the response data, and some of the tool chain that was called, some security insights on top of it. And in case of any other issue or maybe high risk or high violation level, I will be able to see some other security insights in the right panel. I think I think that's kind of it. At least for this demo. If Gabriel, if you have any other ideas, what I can show, what we can talk about, it could be great. But I think that's kind of wrapping up this demo.
Yeah. This is a great demo, really exciting. It was good to see the MCP part and how it seamlessly integrate. And as I mentioned, because we are supporting any kind of AI protocols that might works the same for custom agents that you're developing using OpenWeb UI, for A2A based applications, for LangChain, for LangGraph, for any kind of agents that you want to either implement or develop, the platform can seamlessly connect to that. One of the concepts that I really like is the way of the originators, delegators, relationships, and the way that we are actually combining ABAC with REBAC to create ABAC, attribute-based access control, with REBAC, relation-based access control, to create a comprehensive protection of zero standing permissions for the agents. So really good to see that. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the demo and that you, if you want to get more serious with that, or maybe subscribe or join us as one of the design partners for the demo. So I'm really inviting you to join the Agent.Security. You can get a custom demo. You can ask us questions about the pricing, about the subscription model, etc., etc. So everything is in the Agent.Security website. And thanks again for joining us today. We'll keep another 2 minutes for people if they have any kind of questions or comments that you want to give. So wait a little here for anyone. Raz, thank you again for showing us the demo. I think this is a great product happened by our product team here at Pyramid. And I'm super excited towards what this Agent.Security gonna be, and to see more and more enterprise adopting enterprise grade agent identity.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed, for being here behind the screen and cheering us
Yeah,
where needed.
thank you.
Thank you all, and with